you from Rancho Paco in Ocala, Florida, it's He's No Mickey Mantle with your hosts, George and Jordan.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to He's No Mickey Mantle. This is part 2 of our MLB preseason predictions. And today we're going to be taking a look at the NL, the National League. We're going to be going over who we think is going to fall where in the division, and also give our very early postseason predictions and give our NL champ predictions.
Let's do it.
So who do you got going in the NL East?
The NL East is a very interesting division. I think it's a strong division. You have 3 teams that are very good. The Mets, Braves, Phillies, the defending National League champs. All those teams are very good, and they're all going to be battling up there. The Mets made a lot of moves. Got Verlander, a Cy Young winner. Several other moves that they did. They got the Japanese kid, that everybody was looking forward to getting, and they snagged him. So they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. But here's my prediction for the National League East. I had Atlanta Braves winning the division. Young core. Acuna was healthy, ready to go. Hopefully he plays a full season. They've locked down a lot of that young talent for many years to come. And I think they're poised to make a run again at the World Series, the champs a couple of years back. So I have Atlanta first, New York Mets second, the Phillies third, the Marlins fourth, and the Nats pulling up the rear.
All right.
So that's who I got there.
And where do you have Marlins record-wise in that 4th spot?
I think Marlins win about 500, about 80 games or so.
Okay. And you have...
They're a very much improved team. Their off-season moves, I liked what they did. They got a couple of young cats that are ready to be stars, and the pitching is really good.
And do you have a close race for the NL East, or...?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, real close race.
Between Atlanta, New York, and Philly? All 3 you think are going to be contenders in there?
I think they're all going to be contenders, especially for wild cards and things like that. But I think for the division, the Mets and the Braves are going to battle it out. I still don't think that the Mets are the powerhouse that everybody thinks they are. The Mets always find a way to lose. So that's why I have Atlanta first.
All right. And for mine, slightly different. I'm going to have the Mets winning the division, not by a whole lot. I agree that it'll be very close. But I do have them winning. I don't think Atlanta's quite good as they were a couple years ago. I know even with Acuna back, they'll be a very good team. But I think that they're going to fall a little bit short. I'll put them in the 2nd spot. Closely followed by Philly. I think they had a very good run last year. It was almost like a Cinderella story. I don't think anyone expected the Phillies to go that far in the postseason.
Yeah, they just sneaked into the playoffs, and then they made a run.
And not going to lie, I might be putting them a little low considering they did make some moves, including Trey Turner, who's one of the best shortstops in the league.
Yep.
So I definitely think they're going to be contenders for sure. But I'm going to have to put them at the 3, and then followed by the Marlins at 4, and the Nats at 5.
We have to see how Harper returns, how he looks when he comes back from injury. That's a big thing for the Phillies. Mm-hmm. They have a good team. They have the best catcher in the league, Real Muto. They have Bryce. They have a squad that just came off of being National League champs. So those guys are going to be good.
I think as long as injury doesn't kill them, I think they'll be back in the postseason this year for sure.
Yeah, I think they're contenders. I think those 3 teams in the East are contenders.
Yeah.
I like the Marlins, young guys. But I like what they're gonna do. I'm looking for Jazz to have a breakout season. I'm looking for Alcantara to repeat his Cy Young ways this year. They got several other good young pitchers.
Segura, Arraez, bring some offense into that team.
I like what they're doing. I think they go at least 500. The NL East is going to be a tough division to play in.
Toughest in the National League, you think?
More teams in that division are better than most of the other teams.
I agree. So moving on to the Central, who do you got going in the National League Central?
The National League Central is a tough division for me to predict. I don't watch much Central Division teams. I'm not a fan of those teams, so I really don't care what they do. But as always, the Cubs improved this offseason. They're going to be very good. The Cardinals are a good team. They're always a good team. They did have a couple of losses. Yachty retired.
Yachty, Pujols.
A bunch of the old guys came off the team. But I think they're still good enough to win the division. So I have the Cardinals winning that division. The Central Division goes to the Cardinals, followed closely by the Cubs. But then the Brewers. That Brewers are always a hit or miss team. They're hot and cold, and
I think this offseason they really didn't improve. If anything, they got a little bit worse. So I don't think they're going to be doing much.
They're always a hit or miss team, in my opinion, and I don't think they're going to do much this year. And then you got the Reds and Pirates bringing up the rear there, and I think the Reds are not very good, and the Pirates are just
even worse,
not good. They did get McCutchen back, but he's old.
Yeah.
And they got a disgruntled Brian Reynolds on the team. He's not happy being there. So that usually affects production.
He'll probably want out by September. So
that affects production, and we'll see what happens with that. But I don't think that those teams are going to be any good. So I got the Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers, Reds, and Pirates.
Yeah, and mine's exactly the same way. I think it'll be close between the Cubs and Cardinals, but I think the Cardinals will take the advantage just because they've had recent experience winning that division, and I think the Cubs are slowly getting back to being a good ball club, but I think the last few years have been a detriment. Hopefully, though, we could see some of those young guys like Dansby and Cody Bellinger maybe have a bounce back season and get some life into that team.
Dansby is a very good shortstop. It's a big addition to that team. Bellinger, I don't know where he's at. He fell off so far. I don't know how an MVP falls that far down that fast.
Well, we also gotta look at Yelich. He hasn't fallen off as much, but that same year he was fighting Cody for the MVP, and now he's not near where he was then.
Yeah, but I mean, Bellinger just fell off the planet.
Yeah.
And they picked up Tyone from the Yankees.
That's a good pickup, yeah.
That's a good arm. Mm-hmm. So I think they're gonna. I mean, they did lose Contreras, but I think they'll be all right. The Cubs are gonna battle. They'll battle for the division. I don't think they win it, but I think they're there till the end, battling for the division.
I agree with that. So moving on to the NL West.
The NL West is an interesting division, with the Padres amassing an all-star team, basically.
Yep.
You got what?
You got Bogarts, Machado, Juan Soto, and Fernando Tatis Jr. Four of the best young stars in Major League Baseball right now, all on the same team, is unbelievable.
They got good pitching. They got an all-star team. They picked up Bogarts. Tatis will be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be in the outfield.
Hopefully he'll stay healthy. He's off of suspension, so hopefully he'll stay healthy.
Yeah.
We'll see how he comes back, what he looks like when he returns. But they got an all-star team right now. And they're going to be tough to beat. The Dodgers, always good. They still got Mookie Betts on that team, which is one of the best players in the game. Mookie is there. You got, they picked up Martinez for another bat.
Mm-hmm.
They pick up Thor for Syndergaard for an arm. You got Urias, the young kid pitching. Good team, man. I think they're still a team to beat in that division.
And an old Clayton Kershaw who,
it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still good. Regular season Kershaw is still very good.
Yeah.
That team, I think, is still the team to beat in that division.
Really?
I have the Dodgers winning the division.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By a little bit, I would assume. Not. It would be close.
A little bit. They're not going to run away with it. Because the Padres are too good. I mean, they got too many good players. We'll see how it all meshes together. We'll see how Manny Machado news affects the team. He's flat out just said it on TV. Yeah, I'm planning to opt out. I'm out of here. I'm opting out. Whether they re-sign him, that's one thing. But I read a news report that he's asking for 10 years. $400 million for 10 years. That's $40 million a year from Manny Machado.
Yeah.
That dude's 30.
With that superstar team, they're not going to be able to afford that.
That dude's 30. You're going to get Manny Machado $400 million?
He's going to make it back.
I don't know who's going to do that. I mean, he may not get that. He may get 8 years. Team like the Yankees, maybe the Mets. One of those big money teams will make a run.
I think the Padres will save themselves some money, trade him at the deadline for maybe a younger guy, a little less expensive, but still a talented player.
We'll give you old Josh Donaldson if you like.
Nah, they're not going to accept that.
And we'll attach IKF.
We'll attach IKF. We'll attach our whole minor league team. Whoever.
Aaron Hicks.
All of them.
Whoever's available, just go and get Manny out there, make a run at the Astros.
Unless we have to pay him $400 million, though. That's
anybody that trades for him at the moment is going to be a rental, unless they could re-sign him, because he's going free agent.
Yeah,
he's going to make some bank, and we'll see. I mean, who pays him?
This is the last year on his contract, right?
Yeah. He has an opt-out.
So you're saying
he has an option, so he's gonna opt out. I'm not taking the contract. I'm out. You're
saying Yankees trade for him, have him for the postseason, and then bump him because they're not gonna pay him. I mean, that if he's asking for that much, how are you gonna pay him when you just signed Judge for $1 trillion?
You can't have Judge,
Stanton's contract too, which is insane,
and then pay this fool.
Yeah, the same
$40 million.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Manny Machado's a great player, but you can't have somebody making more than Judge.
Yeah, I think Machado, if he gets traded, will be going to a team that's, looking to have him long term.
Well, anybody that trades for him is going to try to get him long term. It depends on how much they're going to do it for.
Well, a team that has space for him and could afford him.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to demand a lot. The offseason next year is going to be very interesting. You have Ohtani being a free agent. You have Machado now saying he's going to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. Some big names out there. Should be fun. But to get back to the West, I got the Padres in second, of course. That team is good enough to win 100 games easily.
So 200-plus win teams in the West?
Maybe. Maybe not.
I mean, the Dodgers usually win about 104, 105. Yeah.
Both those teams can win 100 games. Then you got the Giants. The Giants tried to make all these offseason moves.
And failed miserably.
Nothing worked out for them. They got Arson Judge instead of Aaron Judge. With that whole Twitter fiasco.
Yep.
They thought they had Judge, and then, nope, we don't have Judge. Then they thought they had Correa. Nope, we don't have Correa.
And then lost one of the best pitchers in baseball.
And then they lost Rodon. That's going to be hard to bounce back from for those guys.
Yeah.
They're still building, and they're not nearly as talented as the Dodgers or the Padres.
So they'll be pretty far back there in the third spot.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, they're not close to those other two teams.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So it's just gonna be Padres, Dodgers for the majority of the season going at it.
You think the Giants are anywhere near close to those guys?
No,
not even close.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna be.
And then after the Giants, I got the Rockies and the D-backs pulling up the rear. The poor Rockies and those D-backs, those guys don't do anything ever. They just lose people instead of getting people back, which is, it's one of those things where a team always stays bad.
Yeah, so looking back at it, I think the weakest division in the NL this year will probably be the West, and then
I don't know about that because you got the Padres.
Central will be weaker.
Yeah, because you got the Padres and the Dodgers in that division.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the teams that aren't going to be good. The Brewers might surprise you and have an okay,
I think
a little above 500
I think
season.
the Brewers and the Giants are about the same.
Okay.
And the Reds and the Pirates are
garbage.
The Rockies and D-backs as the same teams. So that division, the power in the National League lies in the East. Unfortunately for the Marlins, that's
kind of
the
similar to the American League.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the Marlins,
they're in
the East.
a very tough division.
They're a very tough division. A young team getting better, but unfortunately for them, they're way out there with teams, 3 teams ahead of them that are better than they are.
Yeah.
At least. I don't think the Nats are, but who knows?
So going to my predictions, I'm going to have similar again, but I'm going to put the Padres winning that division. I think that superstar team, and they have pretty good pitching as well with Musgrove and Hader. I think that they're going to surpass the Dodgers once and for all this year and take the NL West. Slowly followed by the Dodgers. I think they got a lot weaker this offseason. They lost a crap ton of guys. I mean, like, half their team basically went.
No, they didn't lose half the team.
They lost a lot of players.
Who's their big guy they lost? They lost Turner. That's a big loss. Who else?
Bellinger.
But Bellinger was nothing. Bellinger wasn't playing at all. He wasn't factoring into anything. He wasn't playing well.
All right. Well, they lost pitching. They lost Canely to the Yankees.
Okay, that's an arm to lose.
They lost. Let's see. We have it here. They lost. Joey Gallo's pretty garbage.
See, I don't think the losses are that big. Trey Turner's a big loss, and Canely are big losses. Those two guys are big losses.
I feel like they got a lot weaker, in my opinion. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think the Padres...
They picked up a bat in Martinez. I mean, he didn't have a great season either, and he's at the tail end of his career. He's not the same player he once was. But I think that, they're still the Dodgers, man. They're still the team to beat.
I don't know. I feel like the Dodgers used to have that all-star lineup, and now it's kind of reversed, and the Padres have it, so I'm going to have to give it to the Padres.
The Padres have spent a lot of cash to get that team to where it is.
Yeah.
If they stay healthy, they'll compete for the division. They will be there. They will compete for the division. Whether they overtake the Dodgers or not, I don't think so. Maybe they do. But they are the all-star team in this division right now. They got guys everywhere.
They probably have the most superstars of any team in the MLB, to be honest.
And I just saw today they have Matt Carpenter on the team. I was like, what's that dude doing there? I had no idea that he went there. So I'm giving an interview about his mustache, which was pretty funny because those spring training interviews are all pretty loose.
Yeah.
And they were talking about his mustache.
Interesting.
Good bench player for this team.
Yeah,
a veteran.
He had a good first half season until he got hurt with the Yankees.
A veteran presence in that team, full of young superstars. So excited to see what that team is going to do. 'Cause they're looking strong. Not gonna lie, the Padres are looking strong, and I mean we'll see if they're able to overcome that hump. But for sure, playoffs for sure.
Oh yeah.
Whether they win the division or not, that's a playoff team.
Yeah, and then rounded off, same as yours, Giants Rockies, D-backs, all teams that didn't really improve this offseason, and D-backs and Rockies who are notoriously terrible.
You know, you gotta feel bad for those fans, especially the Giants fans who were this close to being really good. That close to landing Aaron Judge. That close to
They had Correa in their hands.
They had Correa in their hands to.
I wouldn't say they were that close to Judge. I mean, they made an offer, but
there was reports that he had agreed. I mean, the reports came out, so the fans thought they had him. There was a report that came out and said, yeah, San Francisco has agreed to terms with the Judge.
Interesting.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I never saw those, but...
Well, you're not a Twitter guy. I'm a Twitter guy.
Yeah, well, those were put to rest real quick when Cashman offered
John Heyman put out, and then he, misspelled his tweet to Arson Judge.
Oh, that's the
Aaron
joke.
Judge, and that's the joke. Oh, they got Arson Judge instead of Aaron Judge. But unfortunately for the Giant fans, they just missed out. They thought they had, for 7 hours, they thought they had Aaron Judge.
And then for a few days.
Then for 7 days, they thought they had Correa. And it ends up they get nothing. They just, signed a few guys here or there. And then, like you said, they did pick up a Chaminade. It's a pretty good pitcher. Should do well for them. But that loss of the big guy, Rodon,
yeah,
that's a big loss to any pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that guy has a shot to be a Cy Young this year.
I agree, yeah.
So that's tough. So looking at the playoffs, what I have for playoff teams, we have Atlanta. I have Atlanta winning the East.
Mm-hmm.
Your division winners, Atlanta, St. Louis, and LA. Those are our three division winners.
And your 1 seed. Who's your 1 seed?
My 1 seed, I think LA wins most games out of those. Out of those 3 teams. And then I have first wild card, the Mets. Second wild card, the Padres. And then sneaking in once again, National League champs, defending National League champs, Philadelphia Phillies.
Interesting.
So that's what I have there for my playoff picture.
All right, I'll hold off on your National League champ for your second, and I'll go over mine real quick. So I have the Padres in the 1 seed. I think they're going to win the most games out of anyone. They're going to be a very talented team this year. I got the Mets at second, and the Cardinals at third. And then for the wild card, I have the Braves getting the first one, the Phillies getting the second one, and yes, I have not said their name yet because they're going to be the last wild card team, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, the last one's in.
The last one.
So
I think that division, the NL East, is going to be so good that the Dodgers are just going to get that last one. And they won't squeak in because the Cubs won't be nearly as good as them.
So you think you think the Phillies?
I think the Phillies
are better than the Dodgers?
Yeah. They took Trey Turner from them, so yeah. I do think so, yeah. I'm going to give the credit to the last year's National League champs and put them better than the Dodgers.
Okay.
I think Padres will easily win over 100 games. Mets will be a little over.
I don't think the Mets even get to 100 games. I think the Mets win about 90 games.
Yeah, maybe. But for mine, I got them winning around 100, 101. Cardinals will win low to mid 90s. Braves will be maybe a game or 2 behind the Mets. Phillies will be pretty close, and then, like I said, the Dodgers, I think they're going to win lower 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
No, you don't have to agree. That's because it's my prediction.
I don't see that happening at all. Okay.
So who's your NL champ for 2023?
My 2023 National League champion is the Atlanta Braves. I like that Braves team. I think Acuna is going to...
So you don't have them win the most games, but you think they're going to be better in the postseason?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have them winning the division.
And does that have to do with they got to play tougher teams within their division than the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think those the Mets Phillies games are difficult. The Marlins are going to be a difficult team to play. They'll take their chunks out.
The Marlins always match up well against the Braves.
The Marlins will take the chunks out of a couple of those. I mean, they always take some games from the Mets. They always take some games from the Phillies. They always take some games from the Braves. There's fewer games between those teams. But I think the Dodgers and the Padres, within their division, they shouldn't have a problem unless it's against each other. So that's why I think that division champion will win more games and be the 1 seed.
All right.
But I think Atlanta is a strong team, even with the loss of Dansby.
I think if Acuna stays healthy, that could definitely be
if
a possibility.
Acuna plays a full season, that guy may have an MVP season. That's a a bonus hot take for you. That's not my hot take, but that's a bonus hot take for you.
All right.
Acuna may be an MVP candidate this year.
We'll see, hopefully. So mine is going to be, and you could probably guess it, I've been talking about him a lot this video.
The brown and yellow.
The brown and yellow.
Wherever the color is.
San Diego Padres are going to win the NL pennant. So we'll see a little Padres-Yankees action in the World Series, hopefully.
That's a good World Series.
That'd be a great World Series.
I would enjoy that better than seeing Atlanta and the Yankees again. I mean, we've already beaten them twice in the World Series. We don't need to beat them a third time.
Yeah, I think Padres super team versus the notorious Empire would be an awesome World Series to watch.
We'll see if the Padres get there.
We'll see.
I think the Yankees will get there. Those are the picks.
So to wrap it up, getting into our hot takes, what's your hot take?
My hot take, the hottest take of the day for the National League, I have our boy, Bahamian great, Jazz Chisholm from the Miami Marlins. Jazz Chisholm will have a breakout superstar season. That dude will go 30-30. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases.
And you just had me look up his stats before this video. He went 14-12, I believe it was.
Double up. Double it up.
It's an interesting take.
Hey, the cover boy, MLB the show cover boy, is going to break out this season. And the Marlins better start thinking about extending that guy before he gets away from their pockets.
Definitely. And I think that's a greater possibility this year with the new pitch clock, because I've been hearing that when they were testing it in the minors, that stolen bases went up almost 30%. So it's definitely going to be a lot easier now to be stealing bases with guys on pitch clocks.
The dude has the speed.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the power, the occasional power he has. I think I saw a picture of him today on Twitter from spring training.
He got bigger.
I was like, whoa. The caption was, what are they feeding this guy? The dude was huge. He looked incredible.
Well, let's hope your take is right, because that'd be really fun to watch.
I love the guy. I love Jazz Chisholm. Big fan of his. Like the Marlins. Hopefully, he does well for the team. So that's my hot take. Jazz Chisholm, 30-30.
Let's do it. So my hot take is kind of came up with it on the fly. So it's a little weak, but I'm going to have to say for my hot take that the Padres have surpassed the Dodgers as the kings of the NL West. I mean, come on. They have an all-star team playing. You don't think so?
Nope.
How do you not think that the Padres have surpassed the Dodgers?
Because they haven't. They got to do it on the field first. I got to see that happen.
You'll see it this year. They're going to do it.
Maybe.
No, they're going to do it. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
They've surpassed the Dodgers. So that's my weak hot take, but
very weak.
I think it's going to happen, and we'll have to see for ourselves, but...
No. Dodgers are still the team to beat.
All right. Well, I'll wrap us up here.
All right.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed this little 2-part MLB analysis. We're definitely going to be talking more baseball since we're in the middle of spring training now.
Love this time of year.
I'm really excited for opening day happening in a little over a month. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications to not miss a future upload, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, comment on this video. Let this fool know those Padres are not anywhere right now.
All right.